What's up, Hair Business Blueprint? It's your hair business's best friend, Mikey, and today I'm here with my guy, Dallas Christopher, stylist extraordinaire, color extraordinaire, private label partner. He's a little bit of everything, my right-hand man. Dallas, we're going through these blog posts on private label. We have over 1,000 blog posts that range for everything related to hair care, everything else.
Yeah.
I got one here that I think we need to talk about.
Okay.
The title is Hair Salon Disaster. Now what? Now the interesting thing, this was, we wrote this a couple years ago, and it still is very, very relevant today.
Valuable information.
This is a hair salon fiasco from the point of I am a woman and I'm going to the hair salon and the stylist messes up my hair. Not from the side, not from the other side. So if you're watching this, these are tips like if something happened, this should help you out. Okay, so
been there.
That can be a scary situation for someone.
Absolutely.
I mean, when we have products shipped and FedEx, it's not even us, delivers it like an hour late, people are freaking out. I couldn't imagine, because people are in love with their hair so much.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what that situation would be. You're in the chair, they turn you around to see your hair, and you're like, yeah. So a couple things in here that we're going to go through is, look, right off the bat, this is a tough one. Do you pay for the service?
It is a tough one, but there is a service that's been done. So as a hairstylist, there's a service. You got your hair washed, shampooed. There's a service. So you still owe for the service. If you're not happy, that's where the communication between the stylist and yourself of what you can do to make it better or how it can be discounted. But there's still a service, so you can't just walk away from it because it's almost, in a salon business, not almost, it is. Let me take that back. It is. If you came to the salon, got your hair done, and you didn't like it, if you walked out, that's called theft.
That is theft. Yeah.
So you can call the police, and it's theft.
So don't get too emotional and get arrested over your bad hairdo.
Right.
Or bad sew-in, bad wig install, something like that.
Right.
Okay, so that's true. Now, this is going to vary probably depending on, are you going to a salon suite where it's just a stylist, this is their whole business,
right?
Or are you going to a larger salon that has multiple hairstylists, is owned by someone
like a chain
or something like that. So if that happened, you could probably then talk to a manager, right? Now, would you advise doing it there on the spot, or just like calming down, going home, and then maybe calling up and speaking to a manager and be like, look, this is not pretty, literally?
My advice is to handle it right there.
Okay.
Because if it's color, or if it's something that we don't know what you could have done to your hair when you went home.
Right.
So we want to address it right then and see if we can fix it at that point.
Right. So that's, because we've talked about in previous videos, the pros and cons of what kind of, if you're a hairstylist, you have salon suite, booth rent, or, you're working in a larger organization. So that's something also from a client side they need to start thinking about is, what does that look like?
Yeah.
So that's pretty important. So you say pay, let's go into, so I think part of this could be a communication issue.
Absolutely.
Right? So going into the chair or when you're doing your appointment, everything else, how important is it to be specific about what exactly you want? And what does that mean? Like, is that showing, like setting some screenshots of other people's hair? Let me know. What does that mean to be specific?
So to be specific is a consultation. Every chair appointment is designed to have a perfect consultation. And in that consultation, that is me as a hairstylist having a conversation with the customer saying, show me pictures. Show me pictures of what you'd like, when you say blonde. I want to go blonde today. If you walk in, hey, Dallas, I want to go blonde. There are many variations of blonde. I need to know what your blonde is because it's your brain and my brain, and we work together to find out exact. Because I can't see what's in your head.
Right.
I don't know what you really like, but in the consultation, I find that out. I find out what you've done in the past to your hair, how you're going to be taking care of your hair, and what the end result that would be your desired result would be. And at that point, we have a discussion to understand if I can achieve it or not. There are times when people have brought stuff in and they go, can't get that, buddy. That's
Right.
not going to work. So it's all about communication. It really is about communication.
So I was thinking, though, if something does go wrong with your hair, it is a great chance to go viral because you can do one of those like, this is what I asked for a photo and this is what I got. And if it's a disaster, look, tag the Shade Room, tag World Star, tag Bronner Brothers.
Bronner Brothers does it all the time.
Yeah, you're going viral, baby. Don't worry, okay? So at least get something out of this, all right? So what about something like, they say stop and check, meaning like you're going through part of the process.
Mm-hmm.
You know, is it okay to ask a stylist like, hey, where am I with my hair currently? Or is that something, I mean, that's kind of interesting.
It's okay for you to ask. And honestly, if you have a great hairstylist, the hairstylist checks in with you. And so as a hairstylist, I'm going to always let you know the next step I'm going to. And one thing that I have to say, and it may come up in this article, is that get used to having your customer looking in the mirror and watching you as you're working. So you're really just being an educator right there, talking to them, showing them where you're cutting, showing them where you're placing the color, showing them everything. So it's never what we call either sticker shock or that last minute turn them around to the mirror and they go, oh my God, I look like Freddy Krueger. No. So
right.
It's always a process of checking in. Always.
Okay. And, you know, this makes total sense is doing your research on the stylist. So if I wanted to get, you know, a quick weave or sew in, I'm probably not going to a natural hairstylist.
Right. Or if not, if you are going to go there, have that conversation. Have you done this? And can you show me some of your work? That's when a hairstylist, some hairstylists don't believe in it now. Having a portfolio of your work that you can show, this is what I've done. I like to use those, and I admonish other new hairstylists to find portfolios of only their work. Don't just grab the Jennifer Anistons and the whatever in magazines and the Naomi Campbells and say, you can get this, because it's not something you did.
Right.
Show what you've done, and they can choose from there.
And I think that goes to say for, you know, getting into social media and for hairstylists as far as building their portfolio. A lot of people are doing it on Instagram.
Absolutely.
Which makes sense. But it also is important from a branding perspective. I believe if you're a hairstylist watching this, make sure that you have it separated, your business from personal. Okay, because I see some hairstylists where it's like you see, you know, feed of their work, and the next thing you know, they're in Miami and it's like a twerkathon with all their friends. So it just doesn't really, from a professional aspect, mix in well.
It doesn't read well.
Right.
It doesn't read well.
I mean, I don't mind seeing it personally, but I'm just being honest, like, you know, it would make more sense. I think of like if I was a hairstylist, because, you know, but I consult with people a little bit or make these videos to help people. I think of like, you know, let's keep things professional.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I tell, you know, previous students all the time, I immediately tell them, I'm not going to follow you if you do not make a professional page, because I don't want to see your kids. I love children, but I don't want to see your kids. I don't want to see your dogs. I don't want to see your cats. I don't want to see any of that. I want to see your work. Mm-hmm. And so I'll celebrate your work before I follow you at that point in time. I am also a true person that if I see your work, I will comment or I will DM you and tell you if it was a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and I give you my feedback.
Right.
I mean, it's true feedback. It's only to help you.
Right.
You know, so I have to be mindful sometimes when I'm going, now that's a mess.
Yeah, we've seen it.
I have to be mindful sometimes, but yeah, you know, professional is key.
And this is one that you guys, clients, are normally not the best at, is make an early appointment, making sure that you're not trying to squeeze in somebody's time and book so they're rushed, being on time. Because, as a hairstylist, if you have your day booked and one person shows up 30 minutes late, it can mess up your whole day.
It throws your whole day off.
Because to get caught up,
Throws your whole day off.
you're trying to rush everybody to get caught up for the day. That there can cause a disaster.
It throws your whole day off. And what you have to do is and I'm going to say this, guys, you have to become stern in your scheduling by saying, you are 30 minutes past, I have to reschedule you.
Right.
And so get it out of your head that you're thinking this person is 30 minutes late and I'm going to lose this $200. You're going to lose the rest of your money in that day because the rest of the people are all going to be thrown behind.
That makes a lot of sense.
So think about it that way, saying, I'd rather lose this $200 for this one time and reschedule you later than to jeopardize all the rest of my appointments for the rest of the day.
Yeah, you don't want, it's not the next, 5 clients, it's not their fault this person was late.
Right.
So they shouldn't have to suffer because one other person was late. So
Absolutely.
Be on time.
Be on time.
Be on time.
Be on time. And this last thing, as a hairstylist, you be on time.
Right.
You be on time. So if your if your first appointment is at 8:00, what time do you think they should be there?
7.
I like that. 7. We always say 30 minutes before,
Okay.
but 7:15, 7:20, 7:30 is perfect because you have to set your whole station up. You have to get everything prepared and have an SMA set up where you are ready to take your guest. So when she or he walks in at 8:00, they're ready to sit in the chair, not dilly-dally around while you're trying to get this and drink your coffee and all. Do all that first.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just kind of closing it out, if your hair does get messed up, it sucks. Woosah and breathe, they say.
Woosah.
It's not the end of the world.
No, it's not.
It can be fixed.
It can.
If not at that moment, maybe another stylist. Look, that's why we have headband wigs and private label. Okay? We got the headband wigs. Just throw the headband wig on real
And keep
quick.
it pushing.
Look, I got one right here.
And keep it pushing. Throw a headband
you
wig
just-
on and keep it pushing.
With all my stuff, this thing is a
Wow.
mess. Look, you
Wow.
just throw that boy on,
Throw that
little
baby
headband wig. See, I solve all hairstylist problems right there. Just have hairstylist, you need one of these headband wigs on the side just in
Right.
case you mess something up.
Just in case.
Have one of these, just throw that boy on and you're good. But really, seriously, it's not the end of the day. Things
No.
can be fixed.
Yeah.
Like, if you blow it out of proportion, there's probably less chance it's going to be fixed by that stylist,
Right.
which is not necessarily good because you might end up having to pay twice for the same, expectation of what your hair should look like.
Right. And there's always a way of approaching it. The check-in points are helpful. It's basically you're sharing with the guest, this is where I am. And so when there's a problem at the end, it's like, well, this is a conversation I had with you in this consultation. This is what you showed me, what you wanted, and this is what I gave you, which
Right.
is exactly what we talked about through these steps. It just protects the hairstylist at that point. But even in the case where you did mess up, I'm not on the customer side, I'm not on the hairstylist side, but even if it was that point that you did mess up, you always can fix it. It always can be fixed. Even if they cut too much hair, even though cutting extensions, it can be fixed. If it's color can be fixed pretty much almost in the same day with color correction. It may take you a little longer. You may have to adjust a book. You may have to adjust some times, but it can be fixed. So It's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the day, guys.
No.
It sucks, but it's not the end of the day.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world. Just
Right.
we're gonna make this happen today.
Okay, guys, so this is perfect, probably really from the perspective of the stylist or the client.
Yeah.
If you have a hair salon disaster, hopefully this helps. Here's some good tips. And of course, in the description below, we have links to subscribe to the channel and plenty of other information and resources to help you be great in the hair industry.